Hi, welcome to the parent meeting that we normally have in person that we get to have this way this year. It's not going to be nearly as fun as our normal parent meeting, but we'll try to get you through the info as quick as possible. I gave you one of these parent handbooks when you picked up your materials. So if you have put that aside somewhere, if you want to run and grab it really quick and come back, that way you can actually see what I'm talking about. So if you remember where you put it, that'd be great. If you need another one, you can let me know and I'll give you another one. But go ahead and grab this really quick. When you open the page, the very first thing is going to be a calendar. And if you'll notice at the top, Monday, Wednesday classes are always in red. So they have red writing on them. And the Tuesday, Thursday classes are always done in blue. So if you are a Monday, Wednesday parent, you can go ahead and tear out the Tuesday, Thursday schedule. If you are a Tuesday, Thursday parent, you can go ahead and tear out the Monday, Wednesday schedule so you don't get confused because if you're not looking at it, if you want to do that, that's fine. So, but what this tells you is all the scheduled class days for the year. So on here are important dates like the Mom's Shopping Day in December and things like the Mommy and Me Tea, which I hope we will be able to have this year. So you'll want to schedule that time off. Be sure to write it in your calendar so you don't schedule a vacation or something else because by May you won't want to miss that. So especially if you missed it last year. Oh my goodness. So be sure to mark those dates on your calendar. The Daddy and Me Pumpkin Night in October, I am still working out the details for that. It will more than likely have to be at least partially done on Zoom. I don't think I can have that many dads in one space at one time just yet. So I'm working out the Daddy and Me Pumpkin Night, but if you're the dad in your child's life is available on the scheduled day, we'll plan probably carve your pumpkin and then we'll meet together. I'll read the story and then you can turn out the lights and then we can see everybody's pumpkin. It'll probably run like that this year. So just FYI about calendar. Our welcome to preschool page. So it'll look a little bit like this. We're going to have to do a few things different. We're going to be talking about that as we go through here. Your first day of school will be on Monday, September 21st or Tuesday, September 22nd. We will have a 15-minute drop-off and a 15-minute pickup window this year. Normally it was drop-off at 9:30, pick-up at 12:30. This year it's drop-off between 9:25 and 9:40 and pick-up between 12:30 and 12:45. So we're trying to space the parents out a little bit and so you're not waiting in the hallway quite as long. I have put blue 6-foot markers on the floor in the hallway. So there's ones coming in from the doorway and then down the hall past the bathroom if you're familiar with our hallway. So just please respect everybody else's space and stand on your line. And then also please note that your child's hooks are every other hook. So the 3s kids are by the door. And if your child is 4 or older, their hooks are further down the hall. And so just keep on walking down the hallway and find their hook and basket down the hall. I just kind of trying to spread everybody out a little bit so we're not packed in quite so tight. You are welcome on the first day of school to come in and kind of walk your child in. The very first thing your child will do when they arrive at school every day after the temperature check will be to come in through the door and be greeted by a teacher, and then they will wash their hands. So every day I have little train pieces down on the floor. So I'm going to say, find the train, and then they're going to stand on the little train parts until they get to the sink and wash their hands. So we'll be using hand washing timers this year. So that'll be kind of fun. So they'd be sure to wash for that full 20 seconds. you're welcome to come in. I want everybody to be as comfortable as possible. I know that kids are have been sort of distant from other places. They haven't been at church, and they haven't been at the Y, and they haven't been spending as much time at friend's house and grandma. So this may be a little more of a difficult transition year than in years past. However, I can only have 22 people in the room at any given time. So once your child is comfortable, you'll need to go. The big thing I ask is please, please, please tell your child goodbye. Don't just pick up and disappear. That just isn't great for kids. So I know that they may cry when you leave, and that's okay, but I'd much rather you say, I'm going to go, I love you, I will be back, and leave, so that they know that you've left and not just disappeared. Children find that very disturbing. So it's okay if they cry. Tears are okay. We expect a little bit of that, especially this year. We plan for that. We'll work through it. It's important that kids learn that mom or dad come back, and usually it doesn't take very long. So we make it fun and exciting. So if you are still here when the cleanup song comes on, so if your child's just having a little harder transition time and you hear it's cleanup time, then you need to say goodbye. That's your cue that your time being here is over and that you need to leave. It's really going to be okay, I promise. Also, when you leave, please leave. Don't hang out in the hallway. Don't hang out on the playground. Don't sit in your car. Please actually leave the premises. And it's better for you. It's better for them. Please don't come in and peek in the windows. If you can see us, we can see you. That's also not great. Please wait until the end of the day at 12:30 and come back. If for some reason we need you, we will let you know. But we just need you to go. Please don't be disturbed if you find that the window blinds are closed the first few days of school, just so that taller kids that look out the window, they might say, hey, your mom's here, or something like that. So I may close the curtains for the first few days so that they can't see you coming and going. So I know it's really hard. I know when your child's crying to leave, but it really will be okay. I promise. So just if you would do that, that helps us a lot. The next most important thing is please be sure to put your child's name on the outside of their lunchbox. You can use a luggage tag, you can use tape, you can write their name on in Sharpie, anything like that. That helps us make sure we get the right kid with the right lunchbox. Also, and it needs to be on the outside. You know, when you have a bunch of kids, I know we're not using the community bin this year, but still it helps if it's on the outside of their lunchbox. I have a luggage tag on mine. This is Mrs. Riggin. So also, please be sure to write your child's name on all of their belongings, coats, when winter comes, hats, gloves, scarves, whatever you bring to school. It would surprise you how many times I hold up a coat and say, here, put your coat on. And the child will say, that's not my coat. Well, this coat's hanging on your hook. That's not my coat. So there's something about being at school that makes their coat look different. I don't know why. So if their name is in it, then we can say, your name is in this coat. This is your coat. Please put it on. So that would be very helpful. Also, please send a coat every day that's appropriate for the weather. So if it's, cool out and a sweatshirt's great, fantastic. If it's, 30 degrees and it's possibly might snow, then a warmer coat is important. We do go outside every day that's possible. So if it's not pouring down rain, we will go out. So, or if it's not, really, really bitterly cold, we'll go out. Or if like I'm filming on one of the really smoky days, we wouldn't go out today because the air's quality is not good. But any day that we can go out, we will go out. So if you would please send a coat, that would be fantastic. The lunches are going to go in the baskets that are on the floor underneath your child's coat hook. Please note there's a pencil on the wall next to the hooks. The pencil points to your child's hook. So if you have it's a little pencil point, will go this way, and that's your child's hook. And then the basket will be underneath it. So it's a little more clear since they're spaced out, but just so you know that. If you need to use the restroom while you're here, or if you want to take your child to the restroom before they come to class, that's always a good idea. Please use the first or the second stall to kind of help minimize how much we actually have to sanitize every day after school. So if you just kind of keep it to that first or second stall, and there is a 2-person or 1 family at a time in the bathroom COVID related thing right now. So just kind of note that also. I've kind of covered most of, let me see, let me check my notes. I'm good. All right. When you drop off your child, a mask or face covering, for those of you where masks aren't suggested, is required. We will be taking temperature checks. It might happen at the double door when you come in, or it might happen at the classroom door. It will depend on how much staff I have on each day. So just note that everybody coming in, the child and the adult, will have their temperature checked every day that you come in. We're asking that you only have 1 adult bring your child in at any one time, just to minimize the number of people in the hallway. I know sometimes when grandma and grandpa come, they kind of want to see, maybe grandma can drop the child off and grandpa can pick the child up, that kind of thing. We're just trying to minimize the amount of people in the hallway. There is a one-way flow, so if you would, I know it's a pain when it's raining, I understand, but if you would please enter through the double doors, come around the corner, hang all your stuff up, and then exit at the door that heads to the north parking lot, that would be helpful. We're trying to minimize the walking across people and minimize people being in contact with each other. So I know it's easier to just park right out here and drop your child off and then just run right back out the door, but we really are asking you to follow the one-way flow pattern. We are not going to be using those community tubs for lunches, so they're going to go in those baskets. We talked that they're going to be washing their hands as soon as they come in. Adults, there will be hand sanitizer available. It will either be by the door, it might be on the steps right there as you come in through the double doors. We would ask that the adults would use some hand sanitizer before coming in, just for everyone's health and safety. I do not recommend hand sanitizer for children. I'm not a big hand sanitizer on kids person. So they'll wash their hands once they come in, so I think they're good. But if you as adults would just take a quick little bit of hand sanitizer, that would be fantastic. I do not allow hats in the classroom, so if your child has an amazingly exciting hat that they want to show me, I would happily look at it at the door. But pretty much no toys from home unless they really need a transitional object. They just really need their stuffed animal for the first couple of days of school. We'll be transitioning that back to their backpack as soon as possible, but I will allow it for the first couple of days, just if it helps your child just transition into school. But everything else that comes from home other than their lunchbox needs to stay in their backpack. So if they bring anything, I would quite honestly have a little pat down of your child before you either bring them in when they get out of the car or before they go into the classroom. If you just kind of pat them down to make sure that they haven't had extra things come along to school in pockets and things like that. They tend to like to bring extra things, but those things tend to get lost in the classroom, and then we're sad that our truck, my Matchbox car, got mixed in with all the other Matchbox cars, and I won't know what's what. So, or it gets dropped in a box, and now they're sad because they've lost their toy or whatever. So, just a quick pat down that first little while is helpful. I've noticed over time. When you come to pick up, the pickup procedures are going to be very similar to the morning ones. Please stand on the markers down the hallway. When you arrive at the door, I will open the top part of the door at the end of our afternoon circle time. So you'll know that that we are available for pickup once the door is open. But we will be doing some carpet games and maybe some music and things like that to entertain for that 15-minute window. So please, when you come to the door, do not call your child and say, "Hi, Johnny, I'm here. Come on, let's go." For safety, I ask that the children not come to the door until I call them. So when I see you, I will say, "Oh, Johnny, it's time for you to go home. Your mom or dad is here." So then I only have one child at the door at a time, and I can make sure that I get the right child out the door to the right parent. And so it's a safety thing. So if when you come to the door, you would just let me call your child to the door, that would be great. Be sure to collect all of your child's things, all the coat, from their hook, their lunchbox, all those things. Because we have some kids down the hallway this way and some kids right here by the door, there may be a little bit of back and forth. So hopefully, we'll give people a minute to get where they need to go to pick up all their things before they leave. It is I do tell the children it's their responsibility to bring a coat and to bring all their things to school. And so we will be working on that personal responsibility of taking care of our own items. But for the first little while till we transition in, if you'll kind of make sure you have all your things, that'd be great. There are some other COVID procedures here. If you are concerned about that or want to know more about what we're doing regarding some of the COVID procedures, they are on the next page or so you can take a look at that. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Turning the page, we move on to tuition. So that I know is very exciting to everyone. I will say in the years past, we've had an annual payment option and a quarterly payment option and a monthly payment option. This year only, we are moving to monthly only. Just because of the uncertainty of the way this year may roll and how things are going, it's just easier for us if we put everybody on the monthly schedule. So just know that for the year that the first of the month, it's due on the first school day of each month. So if you kind of want to put that into your schedule. We do have an online payment option. So if you want to go to praisecovenant.net, you'll click on the preschool tab. You'll click on the in-person learning, because there is a distance learning schedule also. So the in-person learning, and then you'll click on the to pay tuition for in-person learning. And it's right there. And it's kind of like buying movie tickets. So you click how many, you just put one in the box, and then it will calculate the additional fee. There is a 3.1% fee for paying online. So if that's convenient for you and it's easier, you're racking up miles for when Disneyland opens, fantastic. If you would prefer to not pay that, you can bring me check made out to Praise Covenant Church, cashier's checks, cash. I take all those things. So you can just bring them and drop them off on the first school day of each month, or you can pay online. It's completely up to you. So whatever works better for you and your family. I do have tuition agreements. Hopefully you've already signed this at meet and greet. So this is one thing we will be asking you to do. So if you have not signed this, please check with me on your child's first or second day of school, and so we can get this signed, because I have to have this from everybody. So you can leave the one in here so you have a copy of it. I'm happy to provide you with the copy that I need. So this is just in for your records. Moving on to the next thing is sickness guidelines. So the biggest thing in a COVID-19 year is we are relying on you to help us keep our community healthy. So we have our normal guidelines, which I will go over, but I am asking you to do a health check on everyone in the family every night. Just a quick, how you feeling? A quick temperature check. If you can do thermometers, great. If you're pretty good, got the mom thing, I can tell if you have a fever or not. That's, great too. We will be taking temperature checks here at school, but your temperature tends to be warmer at night. And our rule is you have to be fever-free for 24 hours. So even if you have fever the night before, but you don't in the morning, you have to be fever-free for 24 hours before you can return to school. But we really are, if your child is off, they're just not acting right, they're overly lethargic, you think they might be coming down with something, it's not even that it's COVID-19. We're just trying to keep as many colds and flu and all the other little virusy things out of the classroom as much as possible. So if you would just take that time every night to just kind of check everybody, even the adults in the family, I know, just, hey, honey, how you feeling? Every night, check temperatures, and just to love on and benefit and be kind to everyone in the group. Will we catch every single thing? No, we won't. And so, but the more that we're just trying to be vigilant and make sure that we're as healthy as possible, that would be appreciated. So, regarding these things, please keep your child home from school if they have a temperature of 100 degrees or more within 24 hours of class. And I'm extending that to anyone in the household. So if you have an older child that's not feeling well, please keep your preschooler home. If they have nasal discharge that is not clear, so allergies, the nose runs clear. If it's green or if it's a really dark yellow, that you please keep your child home. It's true for vomiting also. We need to be vomiting and diarrhea free for 24 hours before coming back to class. We're watching for pink eye. So if you have anything that looks like pink eye, it's highly contagious. So if you would check with your doctor on that one. And please let us know if head lice comes through. If you find head lice, just let me know. Privacy is a thing. I won't tell everybody who it is, but we do need to take certain measures and let people know that they need to watch for that. So down here in the red box with the red arrows is the COVID-19 extra things. So, we're looking for uncontrolled cough that causes difficulty breathing. For my asthmatic kids, this would be unusual, a different kind of cough. From their baseline sort of asthmatic cough. And then it's new onsets of headache or fatigue, things like that. So you know your child way better than we know your child. So if you would just kind of watch in the morning as they're getting up, moving around, are they behaving normally? Are they excited to come to school? We may have a little bit of that. I don't feel good, I don't want to go to school thing, just because that does happen. But, if when they get home and you generally think they're feeling well, then that's fine. There is that, my child has a sneeze or a little bit of a residual cough, that kind of thing, I'm going to leave that up to you. There's certain times when it's just a little, it takes a while to kind of get over and they're not necessarily contagious. But remember that we are part of this community environment and we're trying to keep everyone as healthy as possible. So, but these are required. And what I do ask is that you would please call me or text me and let me know. My phone number is here at the bottom of the page. And let me know if your child is not coming to school that day. And then because I keep attendance records and sometimes we're waiting we're holding off on cleaning up art until somebody arrives. So if you're running really late, or if you're not coming at all, if you just send me a quick text, then I know whether I'm expecting you or not for the day. All right, next we have our birthday policy. Birthdays are very exciting. They're a very fun and exciting thing for preschoolers. So I have an All About Me poster, which is actually hanging in the classroom. That's hanging up there. So I will send the poster home before your child's birthday. If it's getting close, your child's birthday is in the next week or so, and you have not received their poster, please let me know and I will get it to you. Sometimes it gets farther down the list than I anticipate, so that we can celebrate on your child's birthday. If you'll send it back the day you want us to celebrate, because sometimes, if a birthday falls on the weekend, some parents are ready, they want us to celebrate on Wednesday or Thursday, or sometimes they rather us wait till Monday, Tuesday. So send the poster back on the day you would like us to celebrate. And then you can bring a birthday treat if you want. Please note, birthday treats are not food. So if you could send a non-food birthday treat, that is best. We do have some kids that have some pretty severe allergies, food allergies. So I would encourage, if you choose to send a birthday treat, that it would be bubbles or a sticker or little bouncy balls or something that's not food. If you do send a food treat, please have it be pre-packaged in something that has the ingredients on it. So Rice Krispie treats, something like that, or Fruit Leathers, things like that are generally okay. How we handle birthday treats is they are handed out at the door at the end of the day. So the child will stand by the door, and as the kids are going out, they will be able to hand out their birthday treat and to the children as they're going out the door. So the parents, if it is a food treat, can choose whether or not that's something their child can have. Please note, I do not serve cake of any kind. Cake, cupcakes, any of that. If you come to me with a carton of cupcakes, I will say thank you very much and I will hand them back to you. Preschoolers and cake are not a thing. So please don't send cake or boxes of cookies, those kinds of things. It has to be something that I can hand out pre-packaged out the door to the family as they leave. So it's not going to be eaten at lunchtime. I can't do that. So I know I've had parents ask, can I send pizza for the class? No, we can't do that either. So everybody has to have their own food, especially this year, but everybody has to have their own food. We do have kids that have food allergies and have food restrictions. So it has to be something that can just be handed out at the end of the day. So note that. And hopefully it's a lot of fun. They have a good time. So, but if they don't have a birthday treat, that's fine too. It's optional. And so, but they do enjoy being able to hand out something at the end of the day. Lunches. So we will be eating lunch at school. So please make sure your child has a lunch box with their name on the outside. And please note that it's going to be like a regular school lunch. We don't have a way to heat or refrigerate items, so you can put in the little cold packs or a thermos for warm things in the winter. We do have a rule for lunches, and so we ask the children to eat in a specific order. So they need to eat their sandwich or their protein first. So you might want to start school, unless your child is a really big eater, with half a sandwich, unless they're really hungry and normally eat a full sandwich. So if they eat their sandwich first, then their fruit, and then we kind of go down, vegetables down to treats are last. So cookies, fruit snacks, chips, things like that are the last thing we eat for our lunch. I know that some parents like to offer their child choices. And so if you intend a choice for your child, please write us a little note that says they can eat the sandwich or the yogurt, they can pick one fruit, and they can have, one vegetable. Whatever it is that your intention for them to eat is, if you would note that in the lunchbox, so then we know kind of what you're expecting your child to eat, then that helps us quite a bit, because there were times when this child had a sandwich and then they had yogurt and then they had all this stuff, and the poor child was never getting their treat because they had to eat it in this order. And so it helps if you do that. I do that on purpose because I'm hoping to instill in them to eat their sandwich first when they go to school. And so when no one is monitoring their lunch, they'll kind of hear in their head, eat your sandwich first, before they eat their cookies first at school. So that's why I do that. And so it's kind of this whole, they'll hear it the whole time, eat your sandwich first, and then our fruit, and then we can have our treat or something else, depending on what else is in their lunchbox. So note that. Couple other notes about lunch. If your child is not good at eating Go-Gurt at home, please don't send Go-Gurt to preschool. Go-Gurt and preschoolers can be not fun. So I would put your child in the bathtub and with no clothes on and give them Go-Gurt until they figure out how to eat it. So just FYI. So if they are experienced with Go-Gurt and they can eat Go-Gurt, fantastic. Please send it in the lunch. But until they get it down, we ask that you not send Go-Gurt to school. Also, I do tell children that if they put it in their mouth if they need help opening something and they can't get it open and they put it in their mouth, we have the right to say, no, I won't open that. So just think about that. You have a child that's not your own, that's chewed all over something, and they can't get it open, and they bring it to you to have you open it. And you kind of go, ew, no. So ponder that. Okay, so there is sort of, we reserve the right to not open something if it's yucky. So we will tell kids, if you want me to help you open it, please don't put it in your mouth. So I know that's kind of a transition for some kids, but just imagine it from our point of view sometimes, and we'll do our best. They will be going home half an hour after lunch, so they won't, and we will accommodate as much as we can. But just note that we are working at children not using their fingers and small motor to be able to open things without having to put them in their mouth. Anything that falls on the floor, we have to throw away. So that's a thing. If you are one of those parents that puts everything into like a bento box and they hit the edge of it and it all goes flying onto the floor, I do have the emergency kit. It's partly why I have it. I will give them something to kind of hold them over until you can pick them up. But I will tell you, their lunch fell on the floor, and so they're probably hungry. So just so you know that. I think that is everything. There are some suggested things if your child is not a sandwich eater. So cheese and crackers, hard-boiled eggs, tuna fish. I mean, people send leftovers. All kinds of things can come in for lunch. So that is not as much of a thing. So go ahead and read through that, and that'll give you some ideas on lunchtime. Moving on to weather. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we have varieties of kind of weather. So should we have a snow day? In years past, we would be following the Tacoma Public Schools. If they are closed, we are closed. I'm not sure how Tacoma Public Schools is going to do that this year. So I will probably be updating this policy as we roll along and as school becomes, as we get further in, snowstorms and windstorms become an issue. If you are concerned about snow, we may just go ahead and send you a text that says school is closed. If school is actually back in by winter, then, and they are doing school snow days, then we would follow the Tacoma Public Schools, not UP, but Tacoma Public Schools. If they're out, we're out. If they are delayed, if they do a delayed schedule, we are in, because we start at 9:30, and most of the time, if we start at 9:30, the roads are clear enough that you can get here. If you personally are not comfortable driving, then just text me or call me and say, we're not coming in. I know some of you come from pretty far distances, and so if the roads aren't safe where you are, you live on a really steep hill or something like that, then just let me know. But we will get that out to you. There have been times when I've arrived here at work and the parking lot is a sheet of ice, and I have not felt like the parking lot was safe, and I've canceled school due to ice in the parking lot. So on those cold winter days, if it's questionable, feel free to text me. I'm up anytime pretty much after 5 or 5:30 in the morning, so you can reach me pretty much anytime after that. And I can let you know as soon as I get here whether we're going to be having school or not. Sometimes we have to figure out what the parking lot's doing. But generally, on a normal school year, it would be whether Tacoma Public Schools is out, we are out. If they are delayed, we are in and on time. We will make up one weather-related school closure during the year. So we will do that later in the spring. And if for some reason with the COVID-19 thing, if we need to close down or something, we'll be in contact with you about how we're going to handle all that. So a lot of this is kind of fluid, but we will be in as close contact as possible. And if you have any questions, you can always ask. Sunscreen. If the weather is beautiful, especially in the beginning and the end of the year, we do go outside, and we are outside for half an hour. So if your child needs sunscreen, please apply that before coming to school. We will not apply sunscreen onto your child here. So if they need it, please apply that at home. Clothing. Please make sure your child is wearing shoes that will not fall off their feet. So flip-flops are pretty much never a good idea at preschool. We do go outside and play. The bark gets in their flip-flops. They're unhappy people. So also dress shoes for girls are generally not a good idea either. Tennis shoes really are the best choice. I fully understand the rubber boot phase. I get it. I understand the rubber boot phase. But just try to make sure that the rubber boots actually fit their feet and aren't flopping all over everywhere, and that they can walk and run in their shoes. That's really the thing. They need to be able to climb and run and walk in their shoes without slipping or having their shoes come off, that kind of thing. So we went with safety first. I know some of our young ladies are very fashion conscious, but we really need to be safe at school. So if we can make sure that they just have appropriate shoes for school. Just make sure they're dressed for the weather. If your child runs really warm and they're just kind of warm in spaghetti straps in January, works for them, great. But, generally plan on them being outside. So, sundresses in January, maybe with, a shirt underneath and leggings, that kind of thing. Once again, hats cannot be worn in the classroom. They can, however, be worn outside in the winter. So be sure to put their name in it. And then the color of the month. Every month we have a color. So in September, it's yellow. In October, it'll be orange. So we do have the kids stand up and be counted. And if everyone is wearing the color, then we get a star on our little graphing chart. So it really is exciting. So if you can go through their closets and find the things that have a little speck of orange or a little speck of yellow, it does not have to be their whole shirt. It can be part of a design. I've had parents paper clip construction paper to their shirt. I've had parents put stickers on. I've had parents, it can be a line in their sock. It can be their shoes. It can be anything. So it can be a hair bow that they wear for the month. It can be any of those kinds of things. So it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but it's more for them to look and see, are they wearing the color of the month? So it is an exciting thing. And when it's only one person that's not wearing the color, they all kind of go, come on, why aren't you wearing the color of the month? So I will say, though, that underwear doesn't count, and because underwear is private. And so sometimes, if somebody's very excited about their Paw Patrol underwear and they want to show us. So we do say that that's private. So underwear doesn't count, but anything else that we can see on the outside of their body does count. Sometimes kids will have a coat or a sweatshirt and then they get hot and they'll put it in the hallway, and they can say, "Oh, my sweatshirt or my sweater is orange," and we will count that. And sometimes if you tell me, "Hey, by the way, this stripe is really orange. It looks orange to me," kind of a thing, and it's really kind of a mustardy yellow. But I'm not hard and fast on it. If you tell me it's orange, it's orange. So, we're not quite that hard about it, but just let me know if it's kind of on the edge. It looks salmon to me. Is it orange? Is it not orange? We'll make it work. Objects from home. Once again, the whole pat down to make sure we're not bringing things from home is a good idea. I will say comfort items, once again, if we need that to transition, we can do that for the first little while. Please bring a backpack for sure. If your child has a comfort item, so we can transition that comfort item to the backpack as soon as possible. Jewelry and watches. If your child can wear necklaces or watches or bracelets and leave them on for the whole 3 hours, they can wear them in class. If it's something that they're going to chew on, or they're going to play with, or they're going to take off and leave somewhere, then it's better that they not wear it at school. I know watches can be kind of a thing. Please, if they're going to wear a watch, make sure it's one that can get wet, one that they can wear when they wash their hands, so they don't have to take it on and off every time. It just holds up our line and it makes things go more complicated, and then we have to remember whose watch this is and things like that. So that's kind of my rule about jewelry, and as well as hair bows and headbands. If they'll keep a hair bow and a headband in their hair the whole time, fantastic. If they're kind of one of those kids that wears it to come in the door and then they don't wear it anymore, then it's just better not to wear it. So we will try to have them put them in a backpack or in their basket, but things like that. I always have a supply at the end of the year of hair bows and things that never got back to the right person. So if you could help me with that, that'd be fantastic. You could just say, "Mrs. Riggin said no," and that's fine. Food allergies. We do have kids with food allergies. If your child has food allergies, please make sure that I know if you want to make sure that you noted that on your registration form, or if that changes, please be sure to let me know. So if you have allergy testing done and it's either removed from the list or you have new things added to the list, please be sure to let me know. And then the only medications at school would be ones that are like EpiPens and inhalers, and I need to have a doctor's note to have those at school. So if you have not done that, please go ahead and get those forms from your doctor, and then you can bring those in. Bathroom policy. I'm going to go ahead and let you read through the bathroom policy, but basically we are anticipating that your child will be mostly independent in the bathroom. If they need help, we will offer verbal directions to kind of walk them through the process. Should they need additional hands-on type help, We will make sure that the doors are open. We will announce that we're helping a child in the bathroom so that another adult can be kind of monitoring that situation. We will, as much as possible, kind of still help walk the child through the process. Should they need help wiping on the toilet, we have a hand over hand policy. So we would put the toilet paper in your child's hand, we would put a glove on our hand, and we would put our hand over your child's hand to help clean whatever needs to be cleaned. So that's kind of the process for bathroom policy. We're pretty much as hands off. There will be an adult in the bathroom to monitor that we are flushing and opening curtains and washing our hands and doing all those things. So there is an adult in there, kind of in the doorway or kind of in the bathroom, monitoring kind of what's happening, general behavior in the bathroom. But the adults generally will not enter a stall with a child unless they've notified the rest of the staff that they'll be helping somebody, and that unless generally the child requests help, we can do that. But if you have any further questions about that, you feel free to ask. The next is our discipline policy. Basically, we are positive reinforcement and redirection. So we're going to do that as much as possible. We have a calm down area that is not necessarily timeout. It's a place for us to kind of regroup and regather, kind of think about other choices that we might want to make, or if we're just very sad and we're missing mom and we need just some time to gather ourselves together. That space is available for kids. And maybe the classroom environment is just a little overwhelming and they need just to kind of step back. That space is kind of used for all of those things. And so but for the most part, we try to use as much of the redirection and positive reinforcement as possible. We do have an accident form should a child, scrape a knee, trip over something, hit a head, two kids are running and they're not watching where they're going and they bump into each other and bonk their heads together. These things happen. We do have a form, and I generally keep these, but most of the time I will just notify you over the door that, hey, they may have a bruise because they fell, that kind of thing. If it's one where we've had a couple of kids where they've fallen on the concrete and they've gotten, a pretty good scrape on their face, or if it's something where I'm concerned they hit their head really hard, or, something where I feel like you need to be informed prior to the end of the day, then I will call you. That's partly why I need emergency information. So if your phone number changes or any of that, please make sure I have updated information so I can let you know regarding if something happens that you need to be aware of before the end of the day. I'm going to move back to the bathrooming just for a second. Should your child have an accident at school, we will help them change their clothes. If you have clothes, if you think it's a thing that might happen, go ahead and send an extra set of clothes in a backpack. If you don't have extra clothes, we do keep a small amount of clothes here just in case it happens. But should your child have a bowel movement and they're wearing a pull-up or something like that, we don't change diapers or change up pull-ups too much here. So if it gets beyond our scope, then we will call you and you'll need to come to school and either change them or do whatever, bring extra clothes and change them out. So that is one other reason why I might be calling. I have also called parents to come and bring extra pairs of shoes, especially the whole rubber boot phase thing. If we have an accident and we've filled our shoes with urine, I may call you about that too. Please come bring an extra set of shoes. So a couple extra notes about bathrooming. Pete the cat is our backpack animal this year who will not be coming home in a backpack. So I will be sending, I have a animal that I send home. They get to visit you for the weekend. And so, and you can write a little journal article about what they've done at your house, who they saw, what they did, and then you send the pages back to us, and then I will be posting them on the wall. So this is our Pete the cat. I'm going to keep him in the package until the end of the school year, and I will auction him off at the end of the school year along with his book. But because of COVID-19, we will not be sending this stuffed animal home. I will be sending home this laminated picture of Pete the cat. And so this is yours to keep. You can keep this forever and ever and post it on the wall, whatever you would like to do. Pete the cat, once he comes to visit you, can stay forever. So anyway, this will come home along with a book. I have purchased 2 hardbound copies for each class so we can wipe them down and they can kind of have a week to air out between visiting families. And it will all come home in a paper bag. And so it'll have instructions on the front about what to do with Pete the cat while he's at your house. I will ask that you please make journal pages, actual physical journal pages, and send them back to me, and we'll post them on the bulletin board in the hallway. And then I'm going to take photos of them and we will post them to a passworded part of the website so that as Pete the cat goes home with different people, you can go in and look at his travel journal and see where he's been and what he's done with other families. So it's a really fun part of the school year. The kids are very excited about having the backpack animal come home. And so I was trying to figure out a way that we could do it in our COVID environment, and this seemed to be the best way to do it. So the only thing that you need to send back to me is the book and your journal pages after he's visited your family. So this will come home on either Wednesday or Thursday, and then you bring back the book and the journal pages on the following Monday or Tuesday. And so hopefully this will work out. It's my attempt to try to make this fun, and if you can download when you get it the free song on whatever it is, wherever you get it, the directions are on here. So anyway, this is Pete the cat, and we will enjoy it, and he can come visit your house. He will come home one weekend during the year. And then there's also a coloring page that I'd like you to send back, and then I put it up on the wall in the classroom so we know who Pete the cat has already visited. So if you could send that back, that'd be great. There will be more instructions, like I said, on the front of the bag. Homework. In your packet that you received from me earlier, there was the September homework. So there's a whole page full of items. If you do 20 of those items during the month, and you can check them off, you can initial them, however you want to do it. If you do 20 of those items, sign the bottom, put your child's name on there, and send it back, and I will send you a homework completion certificate with a very exciting sticker. And you can give you some ideas of things to do at home. Since we're only 2 days a week, this is a way to expand what you're doing at home and kind of expand the preschool experience. It's very simple, easy things if you haven't looked at it already. It's, find 5 circles in your house, find some things that are yellow, make a list of things that can fly, and things you can do at the grocery store. They're all very simple things that you can do with whatever you have around the house. So I would encourage you to just take the time to do your homework and send in the paper. Be sure, once again, to write your child's name on it so I know who did it. If you need another one, let me know. Scholastic magazines and books. Those of you who have ordered and paid for a Scholastic magazine, you will be getting the code to the Scholastic website, which is an ad-free website for kids that has online games and activities and nonfiction information about what they're talking about. So they'll have a little thing about a trip to the apple orchard or some other things like that on there. So if you are interested in a magazine, it's called My Big World with Clifford, then let me know and I can get that ordered for you. It's $6 for the entire year. So you get a whole year's worth. You get 2 nonfiction magazines. This is a bigger version of what it is. You'll get one that's this size. This is the teacher version, but it's this one will come next time. But it has this one's about the emotions. It's upside down. This one's about the emotions. So it kind of gives you an idea, and then there's an activity on the back to do. So if you're interested in that, you get 2 of these a month, plus access to that online website for $6 for the entire year. So if you have not already paid for that, or if you weren't sure what that was when you enrolled and left it blank and are interested, please let me know as soon as possible so I can get those ordered for you. It takes a few weeks to get those back. I also have the Scholastic flyers if you want to order books from home. They're generally a really good price. They help our classroom. I'm able to purchase quite a few things for the classroom, books and materials and all kinds of things. For free, I can get materials when parents order online. So the best way to do it is to order online through Scholastic. There's a paper in your thing that talks about how to do it, /book clubs. And my teacher code is on that paper also. So you go to that website, you put in my teacher code, and then it'll come here to the classroom. And then I will put it in a bag of some kind and give it to you at pickup or at drop off. So if you want to order gifts, I put them in a bag so the kids can't see them. And they're great for birthdays. They're great for Christmas. They're great for all kinds of stuff. Just FYI, you can't order multiple copies of the same book. So if you're doing a birthday party and it's themed and they have a book that's $3 and you want to order 10 copies, you can do that. I know parents don't always realize that. Also, those Scholastic magazine on Scholastic flyers, you can order from any flyer online. So if you have a 5th grader, you can order for older kids, or if you have a neighbor or somebody you want to buy a gift for, that kind of thing. You can order from any level online. So, and it helps me out. And the books come here. Please watch for the deadline dates. The date for the September one is September 25th. So I have it set for midnight the Friday before, and then I send them in on Saturday morning. So you pay online. It's pretty quick and easy. And then as soon as the books arrive, I have them here for you. So if you have any questions about Scholastic books, or you would like recommendations on what might be a good book to purchase, please feel free to let me know. If you have items that you would like to donate to the classroom, you're cleaning out your child's toys or whatever, and you're thinking, oh, I wonder if Mrs. Riggin would like this, go ahead and take a photo and text me the photo, and I will let you know whether or not that's something I can use. I'm kind of building class sets of certain things, and so sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. But if you have, I'm always open to looking at what you have to see if it's something we can use in the classroom. So let me know. I do periodically have classroom celebrations where I ask parents to sign up for things. So let me know. Just kind of be watching for a clipboard to be passed around, or an online text or an email that says, hey, I'm looking for this for a certain classroom celebration. Are you willing to donate an item for that? So those do happen periodically throughout the year. Next is our list of our Bible verses. So if you want to know what's coming up, or if you don't remember, or if you just kind of want to know what Bible verses we'll be going over this year, here's a list for the whole year. And the very last thing in our packet will be our sign language sheets. So they'll come home. We'll be talking about sign language, so if you want to keep these around, if it's something you want to practice at home, you can go ahead and look here at the sign language sheets so you know what each letter looks like. So that's provided for you. And that is the end of our parent handbook. I know it was very long. It was a lot of information. Hopefully you paused and took some breaks between. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know it's a lot of information to throw at you, but it's all important. The big things are, make sure adults are wearing your mask and hand sanitizing. Please make sure that you're doing health checks on your child every day. Make sure that they come to school healthy and well to keep our whole community well. And please put your child's name on everything. Coats, lunch boxes, backpacks, all those things. If you do that, we'll be doing great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. We'll see you soon.